Final score this evening, Mavericks 3, Michigan Tech nothing. Dylan Marganeri with the game-winning goal from Brett Stern. Dylan Marganeri joins us now. Dylan, congratulations on the game winner. But when did you realize that Brett Stern wasn't going to be shooting the puck and that he was passing it to you because you were open and he saw you and you buried it?
Yeah, as soon as I came out of the corner, he looked to the net first, and then we made eye contact, and he threw it right on my tape. It was easy to tap in for me.
You say it's easy, but when you look at all the opportunities the Mavericks had tonight, when they don't go, are you concerned when that puck's coming over that's like, man, I got to get this one in?
Not really. We were just trying to focus on our game plan. We kind of got away from that the first two periods, and as soon as it was coming to my tape, I wanted to put it home, but luckily it went in.
After that, it seemed like the Mavericks just relaxed as a team, and Grant with the goal and Bryce Gervais with the empty netter. I assume there was a big sigh of relief when you saw that hit the back of the net.
Yeah, there was. And you said relaxed. That's a great word for it because, like I said before, we kind of got away from our game plan in the first two periods, and we were just kind of on edge. So as soon as that first one hit the back of the net, we were going.
I assume you knew that Ferris State had won 2-1. Somewhere along the way, you guys must have known that over the last hour. Is that in the back of your mind at all when you're out there on the ice that we have to win this game to stay even?
No, not at all. I don't think any of the boys knew that they actually won. So we were just focused on our game plan, and we went out and got a win in the third.
Do you expect a similar game tomorrow night from Tech? Because they said they were going to try to throw everything at you because they're playing for home ice in this in the WCHA playoffs. That means a lot to them. Do you assume that you'll see even more from them tomorrow night than you saw tonight?
Yeah, exactly what you said. They're playing for their WCHA playoff berth, and so they're a good team. We know that they're going to be coming hard. Their coach is probably going to get on them tonight, even though it was a hard-fought loss they had. But we just got to do the same thing and do it a little better and a little faster.
Congratulations on the game winner tonight, and we'll see you tomorrow night.
All right, thanks a lot.
Dylan Marganeri, Maverick goal scorer tonight, who had the game winner in the final 5 minutes of the game, and then the Mavericks 2 more goals. And Don Westfall joins us now, and Don, a very happy Mike Hastings that they got out of this one more than anything else. Maybe they didn't play as well as he would have liked, but at the end it goes up as a W, and that's all they had to do tonight.
And, Coach kind of talked about that in the last game, the fact that, they had won, but the fact when they had won, they hadn't scored any power play goals. And, again, the Mavericks tonight, they go 0 for 5 on the power play. And so that little bit of a bugaboo is just a matter of being patient. They had kind of gotten away from their game, as Marganeri talked about, but they stuck with it in a huge play. And I'll give you credit. Once the floodgates opened, they opened up pretty wide, and the Mavericks were able to get the 3-0 win.
And we asked Mike Hastings, any concern that maybe everybody's a little bit nervous? He said, I don't know, I'll have to look at the tape. Dylan Marganeri said, as soon as we scored, we relaxed. And he said, yeah, we relaxed. So I think they were feeling a little bit of the pressure. And once that puck went in the back of the net, it's like, okay, we got this. And I got a feeling tomorrow night you're going to see a different Maverick team.
But the pressure only mounts tomorrow night.
Yes, it does.
But we'll get there tomorrow night. Let's take a look at the highlights
Sure.
of what we got here tonight so far in the contest. And we'll start things off. Really, Dan, the first 2 periods, a lot of physical play going on, but no score. Some penalties started to mount up, and Mavericks had the better of the chances, but Phoenix Copley did what he could to keep his team in it.
He's a big guy. He's 6'3", 190 pounds, and he covers a lot of the net. He's got some pretty big pads. So he was really the difference in the first couple periods. We see a penalty there that ends up being a double minor against Max Gady, second period. Scoring opportunities again. Johnny McGinnis with a really good chance there, but the pad blocker is down on the ice, and he's able to keep it there. Here's Gady again coming in, and no goal there. We'll continue on in the second period with LaFontaine, and probably McGinnis looking back at that with like another pass, but we ended up in the third period still scoreless, and here's a great save coming up by Cole Huggins.
Well, again, we talked about the fact that would maybe be one of those plays that at the end of the contest, we would look at Huggins make the big save, but even a bigger pass there from Stern.
Brett Stern, that's just 2 teammates working together, knowing what's going on, because it certainly looked like it was a shot for Stern coming up. It was a pass all the way. Then you see the goal by Chase Grant to make it 2-0, and the empty netter by Bryce Gervais to make it 3-0.
Take a look at our stats in the contest. Again, the Mavericks win this one despite not getting a power play goal. Both teams 0 for 5 on the night. Shots on goal 32-26 in favor of MSU. Face-offs, a pretty close contest in that regard. I think the summary of that, Dan, is as you mentioned to Coach Hastings, and we talked about it, it might go down in the books as a 3-0 win. It was anything but a 3-0 win in the contest, but the Mavericks keep paces. We take a look at again at the out-of-town scores, you'll see the Ferris State win.
kind of like a line drive or a bloop single. They still go down as
That's
they hit.
right.
Ferris State with a win, as you mentioned, over Lake Superior State 2-1. Bowling Green is in the WCHA playoffs with their victory. Northern Michigan downs Alabama Huntsville by 3 goals. Alaska Anchorage and Alaska coming up. The Gophers in the Big Ten still maintain their 7-point lead going into the final 3 games of the weekend of the season. UMD 8-2. The final score there, St. Cloud State over Colorado College 7-4 in the third. Wisconsin still 7 points behind the Gophers in the Big Ten, as we mentioned. New Prague losing to Hermantown in the state tournament in double overtime. Lakeville North advances to the championship in AA over Eden Prairie 5-4. East Grand Forks is in the championship against Hermantown in Class A with a 2-1 win over St. Cloud Cathedral, and Egan and Edina are underway up at the X in the semifinals. And here are the current standings. Mavericks and Ferris State with 40 points apiece as we head into the final game of the regular season.
And again, as we take a look at the MSU and Ferris State where they're at, you have to keep in mind, again, Michigan Tech here with the loss. And now look at that log jam. 3 teams tied for 3rd place. One of those teams tomorrow night is going to be on the road for the playoffs next weekend. And again, we'll keep track as we move into tomorrow night where Mavericks would be as we take a look now at some possible playoff matchups.
Oh, we don't want that one.
We don't want Bemidji State at all. No, I'd rather not see the Beavers in here. I'd be more comfortable with seeing Lake Superior State. But again, you take a look at they are right now. I can almost guarantee you that's probably not what it's going to end up looking like after tomorrow night.
And it's not that the Mavericks would be afraid of Bemidji State. It's just a style that they play that I don't know that we want to see that next weekend. But yeah, that's a look right now that's probably completely meaningless because next after tomorrow night's games, this is going to be so jumbled and completely different.
So I love it because it gives us stuff to talk about.
That.
Yeah, that's exactly. Let's take a look at our save of the game. And again, Edward Jones providing you with our save of the game. And I got a feeling we're going to have a chance to talk about a guy who tonight, with the shutout, set the MSU season record for shutouts in the season, 5th shutout of the year for Cole Huggins.
You know, it's interesting. When you shut the other team out, you almost always win. Cole Huggins with his 5th of the year. Not all the time, because one time the Mavericks and Michigan Tech went scoreless in overtime.
But not tonight. It was looking like that until about 3 minutes left of the game, and then the Mavericks, they got the big play, the nice feed from Stern. Margineri comes through about a minute later, Chase Grant, and then everyone breathes a sigh of relief. So the Mavericks get the game they had to get tonight, and then it sets things up for tomorrow night, and the implications actually just grow a little bit more. The Mavericks keeping pace in WCHA, Mavericks in terms of pair-wise and keeping those rankings going on. There's a lot, I think, that we don't have to say much more to draw you back to tomorrow night's contest.
You wouldn't think so. That says it all. You're playing for the McNaughton Cup tomorrow night. Win on this ice, and you are the WCHA champions. It's that simple.
We trust we will see you. And again, tomorrow night, given the magnitude of the game, we're going to bring you extended pregame coverage. So join us at 6:30 here on Charter Communication for the pregame show. Dan and I jump in at 7 o'clock with our version of a pregame show, and then we'll drop the puck and see if the Mavericks can finish things out and win their first ever WCHA championship. That awaits us tomorrow night. But until, let's relax a little bit. Let's take another sigh of relief, and we'll come back here and tee it up one more time tomorrow night. Dan McCarger, Don Westfall, and the rest of the students from Bethany Lutheran College bringing you tonight's broadcast, where once again, our final score, it was Minnesota State Mankato 3, and as well, it's a big 3-0 win tonight. Hard to believe, but they get Michigan Tech 3-0 tonight.